Sup everyone, welcome to War 11 versus DSVG. These guys are a really awesome ally. I follow a lot of the guys within them on YouTube. Big fan of their stuff really, maybe I'm being a fanboy. But I've been looking forward to this matchup since I joined GGIR. So yeah, it's going to be a big challenge, but really looking forward to it. Team as shown, really excited to bring Tigra to the table after seeing the fights that I've got my usual path, and I'm going to take that Gallon and Hulkling on the first and third sheds as well as Wong on the boss island. The Gallon fight particularly in that I've had my 2 timeouts there previously from all sorts of things I don't need to go back into, but this time I've got a proper counter and I'm going to take revenge. In the meantime though, we've got Mephisto first up. It's been a little while since I've faced him, going with Titania, combat regen boost just to keep me topped up from any of the flames I take on to start with. I know that as always she's going to take a little bit of damage here. It's almost unavoidable, but it's not going to do me any overall harm. Just keep knocking him down regularly, try and keep him to, it doesn't really matter, I prefer to keep him to an SP1, it's easier to avoid, although I do usually get caught by it when I fight him, but yeah, it's just less time to get incinerated. Going pretty smoothly. Yes, I caught fire there, but I'm keeping topped up on health, and then going straight back into Haymaker means that I'm pretty much just not taking any damage at all. Playing nice and patiently, keeping my distance. I've got a couple of safe parries in me as always. Went in a bit too early there and got knocked down, but it's all good. Trying to get into the habit more of hitting into opponents' block a bit more with Titania, just to keep those debuffs up. Again, caught fire there, but had Haymaker on, and then go straight into an SP3 means the damage isn't going to affect me at all. I can keep my Haymaker on here, get a couple of heavies off, and Mephisto is finished. Fight 1 done. Yeah, just had some boosts on, switch over to my Mystics, and we're off to Gallon to right a few wrongs. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have. Felt slightly nervous. I knew I didn't need to. I knew the fight was going to go well, but going on my previous history of it this season, and they've been my only 2 deaths in inverted commas, I really wanted to make sure this went smoothly. So I considered another grey boost, but I thought I've still got the combat regen. I'm just going to keep that on and not waste it. I didn't really need anything else. Get my neutralise on. They don't last particularly long, and he does get a regen buff through at some point, but I was definitely going to be out damaging it. And get my SP2 off, and he's finished before the combat regen boost even expires. So yeah, pleased with that. 100% full yellow bar, and we are good to go. Next coming up, I've got section 2 of all rank 5 champs, starting off with this big beefy cow. It was quite a long fight. I just needed to be safe, try and keep him to an SP1 only, ideally, unless I had a Haymaker ready to eat up the SP2. But yeah, pretty pleased with how the fight went. I just wanted to keep an eye on his mystic charges as well, or whatever they're called, I forget. If he's over 10, I don't want to push him to the corner. I was safe to do it here because he's only up to 5. I definitely don't need to read the numbers out to you, but here it was going kind of well, and then the 10th one happened as I pushed into the corner. Probably silly, risky play by me, but again, it wasn't gonna cost me too much. The rupture damage is slightly annoying, but really not too bad in the grand scheme of things. I'm just going to keep, again, baiting SP1, avoiding it, and just carrying on going. Being careful again of his charges. Now he's at an SP2 and my Haymaker's nowhere near ready to go, so I decided to throw an SP3 My previous fight in last war against Wong, as we saw, was a bit dicey, but his SP3 barely hurt me thanks to good old Crimson Badger pointing out that we've got all the cowardice plus my inequity masteries. It's going to stop me taking any real damage. I think it was a total of 96% damage reduction. So I decided to take advantage here and safely push him to an SP3, knowing it wasn't going to hurt. Get back to an SP1 once that's done, and as we can see, it really didn't do too much to me, and I've survived that confidently, and now I can just finish him off safely on the home straight. Good fight, pleased with that. Wasn't quite to plan, but the longer a fight is, it's always going to go something not ideally. Coming up to Domino now, we've got Guardian again. We know how this goes. Domino's just a bit beefier here. I haven't faced many rank 5 champs on my path yet, so this was kind of a nice accumulation. Rise to the task. I just wanted to make sure I got a couple of SP1s off to get my force field charges up, and then I'll be ready to fry her down with the SP2. Ideally I wanted to push her to a special 2 here, but because of the power drain kept that off, but it's no big deal. There we go, we've got the 10 shocks stacked on me and they're ticking down for not very much. Critical failure counts as energy damage, so again it's really not doing too much to me. Yeah, it's just a safe, easy fight. Visual effects are always fun at the minute. Didn't catch me out like the Wiccan fight again in last war. It's all going nice and smooth. I feel like in any other game mode I can parry Domino with Guardian a lot easier, and it just doesn't quite work out as nicely here. But keeping the game in control, getting up to an SP2 now, and she's going to go down. Melted. So moving on up to Hulkling now. Put an invulnerability boost on, I think I did, just to... Oh no, I went with advanced power boost just to get to an SP2 quickly. I had 150% mystic boosts on as well. Yeah, just wanted to close the fight out nice and quickly. Make sure not to dex early for Burden of Might, as I didn't want to power burn myself. And yeah, once I'm at SP2, the fun can begin. Got a nice early intercept there, which helped. And yeah, he's not melting down as quickly as he would, because the power start 1 means that I didn't get time to place enough ruptures as I'd like, but the next one's going to be much bigger. I was a bit late in throwing my heavy there, so I went with an SP1. Not ideal play, but it's just... And then I also thought I was far enough away from him to get away with 3 dexes instead of 4. I wasn't. And then he dexes the first part of my SP2, but the rest of it catches him, and again he's down. Slightly less than perfect, but pleased with that run out. Coming up to Wong again, I'm getting into a habit of fighting him lately, and even more of a habit of fighting on this polka dot node with Titania, meaning no specials. This was going to be a much more controlled fight than the previous, because brute force obviously meant degen. This time it's not a factor, so I can relax and be a bit more patient in baiting his special ones. Yeah, had an invulnerability boost anyway, just to be careful. I do get caught a couple of times, like there. Yeah, just didn't get out of the way quick enough there. I also took off all of my my parry mastery tree, just in case I did accidentally parry him, because that would cost me a lot. Probably wouldn't kill me from the combo I eat, but it's obviously nice to stay healthy. Wasted an indestructible charge there as well from chaining my haymaker combos. It's not too bad. All I wanted to do was keep an eye on his charges building up. Once they get to 91 or above, under 100, I need to make sure I knock him down. Or have haymaker active when he gets to over 100. Probably should have saved my haymaker there, because we're getting closer on his charges. And I just managed to knock him down in time here and survived the burst damage, so pleased with that. The fight's going to plan. He's pretty tanky, certainly tankier than the man thing I fought last time, or when I took Mojo here as well. But again, I'm in no rush. I'm not firing any specials, and it's going nice and smoothly. I would have ideally heavied him after his SB1 there, but I wanted to save the haymaker, which I ended up using afterwards anyway. I know I'm gonna, while I'm hitting into his block as well, I'm also placing the debuffs, which also counts down my haymaker timer. Luckily there, I would have probably parried him if I had the mastery on there, so I got away with that one. Yeah, we're going nice and steadily, not as quick as I'd like, but I'd rather be safe, and it's all going to plan. Nob says as he takes a massive kick to the face out of the sky, but that's the only real damage I'm going to take here. Haymaker came back just in time. I didn't knock him down in time, but it did protect me from any burst damage kicking in as he got to his 100 charges. So my plan has so far completely succeeded. Now we're on the home straight, and I can just close it out. One more special one to avoid, and oh, another one, and one's going to go to sleep. Pleased with that. Big challenge I saw to myself, and yeah, we didn't get a donut this time in BG3, but unfortunately this really wasn't our best war at all. And equally, I know that wasn't DSVG's finest performance either, and a shame to think that on any of our other days this season we probably could have got away with a cheeky win there and taken advantage. But good luck to them, and we go into our final war having already secured Masters. We'll go in bushy-tailed and hoping for a top-tier finish. Cheers, guys.